Hello Leo and welcome to Providence. My name is KK and this is your general weekly reading for the week commencing the 27th of December 2020. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're all very well. Once again, this is for the Leo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs of Leo, as well as the Cross Watchers. Everyone is most welcome here. And as always, please be reminded that this is a general weekly reading and to only take what resonates with you and leave the rest for somebody else out there in the collective Leo. There we are. Well, the devil is where we start your weekly reading, Leo. Now, I know people don't like seeing the devil, but bear with me. This is the Capricorn card, if that resonates with anybody out there. And the devil card is the card that represents our shadow self. We all have a shadow side to ourselves. Without darkness, our lights cannot shine so brightly. So this is a card that represents some shadow work into some unhealthy attachments that you may have, some addictions that you may have, not only in drug and alcohol. We're addicted to many things in our modern world. Could be the gym, could be food, could be sex, could be perfectionism. It could be a range of things. Because these unhealthy attachments, these potential addictions in our life are restricting you. Here we have divine feminine and divine masculine shackled here to the devil, speaking about that restriction, speaking about self-limiting beliefs. Perhaps you have about yourself. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't deserve this, etc., etc. We all experience those thoughts from time to time, but this is the week to start doing some work into that space, releasing those unhealthy attachments, perhaps on old confining stories, perhaps on some of your internal dialogue, perhaps on some of your actual behaviors that are restricting you from realizing your full potential. This is the message of the devil card, Leo. Let's get all the cards on the deck. We'll find out a little bit more. What areas are you restricting yourself in at the moment? What can you do about it, Leo? Let's get them all down. All right. Card at the bottom of the deck this week, and the overarching energy is the Two of Swords. And this is a card about weighing up your options. It's a card about making some perhaps really difficult decisions in your life at the moment. And the Two of Swords card often turns up when you're avoiding, procrastinating, making some of these decisions. So you probably all know what decisions we're referring to. It's going to be different for you all, but I'm sure you actually know what they are. So sometimes I also find decisions are difficult to make, but because perhaps there isn't a bad option. Perhaps you're presented with a range of really good options, and that's what's making it difficult. You're not sure which way to go. I'm in this particular image, I'm always drawn to the water and the moon, and I know this is not a card of the Suit of Cups. However, the moon and the water here are screaming to me to use your intuition. If you are finding these decisions are difficult to make, use your intuition. Your intuition is never going to steer you wrong, Leo. Keep that in mind. Some difficult decisions to make throughout this week, perhaps in regards to your behaviours, perhaps regards into your internal dialogues. What is crossing you this week? The Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is known as the Wounded Warrior card. It is the test of faith card. So you're being put through a little bit of a test here. And how to overcome this test, or how to pass this test, is by using your courage, your persistence, your resilience. Because here you are as the Wounded Warrior. You know, your head might be wrapped in bandages and you might be bruised and a little bit battered, but you have made it through the battle. So you will make it through this test of faith by using your courage, using your persistence, using your resilience. And with it crossing the devil here, it just speaks about your journey of this shadow work at the moment. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be difficult, having to face up to some of those behaviours, some of those unhealthy attachments perhaps you have, and to work through that. But be courageous, be resilient, because you are going to make progress. The Wounded Warrior is suggesting right there. The Wheel of Fortune, Leo, in your past position. So the Wheel of Fortune has recently turned. This is the Destiny card. This is the card about the beginning of new life cycles. It's a card that represents karma. It's a card that represents good luck, a turning point, certainly a defining moment. And this has happened quite recently. A new life cycle has begun. This is why you're doing all this shadow work, and this is why you've got decisions to make. You're preparing for this new life cycle to take hold. I think the Wheel of Fortune has turned really recently, like the last couple of weeks. So this is you prepping, getting rid of the old to welcome in the new for this new life cycle. You've got to do a little bit of self-work this week to prepare you for all the wonderful new things that are going to come into your life. The Emperor is sitting in your grounding position this week. And this is the Aries card, if that resonates with anybody out there. And the Emperor is a card that is associated with the greatest of authority. After all, the Emperor is the King of Kings. There's no one of more authority than the Emperor. The Emperor card also represents establishments, structure. It can also represent a father figure in your life, an older male, perhaps that you respect, you admire. It can be your father, but certainly it doesn't have to be your father. But there's something about, for me, I'm picking up on this idea of establishment and structure in your life at the moment, Leo. And I think this is a core. It's got to do with this shadow work that you're going to be doing to bring yourself, or to release some of these restrictions. Let me start that again. To release some of these restrictions, these self-imposed restrictions you have in your life, you need to develop a really strong structure around you at the moment. I think this is what the call of the Emperor is. You need some really strong boundaries. You really need a very strong routine to create this structure to allow you to feel comfortable in releasing these things from your life. The Page of Cups is in your crowning position this week, Leo. And the pages for me are the messengers of the tarot. And the message the Page of Cups brings is one about opportunities around you at the moment. And the Page of Cups works in a intuitive manner. So pay attention to the little voice. Pay attention to, any dreams you may have this week. Pay attention to the little synchronicities, the symbolisms that come to you through this week. This is how the Page of Cups communicates. And what the Page of Cups is trying to tell you is about these opportunities around you at the moment. To be curious, to look at things in a different way. There's a range of possibilities around you at the moment. And sometimes these opportunities, these possibilities are actually right under your nose. It's just that you've never considered them as a possibility for you. Releasing some of these self-imposed restrictions is going to allow you to see these opportunities in a different light. This is the message of the Page of Cups. There's all these wonderful things around you at the moment, really close. You just need to look at them from a different angle, a different perspective, and consider them something that you could bring into your life. After all, there is this new life cycle beginning here. The Strength card, Leo. Well, this is your card, and this is the outcome card of the week. Now, strength is a call for your courage, your compassion, again, in alignment with the Nine of Wands here, the wounded warrior. There is a great call for you at the moment, I think, to be courageous, to make some courageous decisions, to follow through with compassionate actions. This is what is going to influence these circumstances and situations that you find yourself in at the moment. It's very hard to block or argue or disagree with someone that's coming from a place of courage and compassion. If your heart and your mind are filled with these two things and you follow through with those actions in the same way, very, very influential energy. You can change situations quite instantly. So a huge call for courage, to keep going, to build this structure in your life at the moment, and to review these possibilities that are around you. Use them to your advantage, Leo. I think this is what the difficult decision is here. As always, I'd like to take one final message just to summarise the weekly readings for you. But if you are resonating with this, by all means, please give the video a like. Feel free to leave a comment if you would like to. And if you haven't already, please consider clicking that subscribe button below the video, as I do have ongoing weekly readings available for everybody. And what jumped into my chest is the skunk spirit, the number 54. And the message the wonderful skunk spirit brings is know your worth. Not everyone is going to agree with you or see your ideas, but you know your worth. You know what you have to offer, what you bring to the party, so to speak. So be confident in that, Leo. Be courageous in that, Leo. Let us see what other messages Skunk Spirit has for you this week. What do you value? What do you believe in? Is your best, most authentic self on display? The skunk spirit comes as you are reminded that you can be proud of who you are and what you have accomplished. Know your worth. Not everyone will agree with you or share your values, but you can walk with your head high, knowing that when you express your integrity, others can feel your authenticity and will be inspired by it. Be who you are, and if your reputation precedes you, well, good. You have much to be proud of, and the skunk spirit wants you to be your best, true, authentic self. I will leave you with that as the final message of the week, Leo. I wish you a fabulous week ahead, and I do look forward to seeing you all next week. Until then, from me to you, much love and light. Bye-bye.